Hey, what's up guys? You got Gunk or BB here and we're back with... What are we back with? So we are back... This is kind of a weird one. So I decided to join a doubles draft league and I had like no idea what I was getting into. Let me tell you. We're playing on a made-up format because it's like 4v4 and it's not decks. Yeah, I know. But I guess that's just not real in Showdown. Like, we tried the draft league as well, and I think it exists, but there's like, maybe it's the item clause or something. I don't know. All I know is that something about Showdown just doesn't like this format because it's made up. It doesn't exist anywhere. So we have to use a command to fight, and I'm gonna put the command somewhere here, which is, I mean, this is a first for me. It's very funny, and just everything in general. Like, there were people trading spots, like drafting spots during draft. Like, there were people trading Pokemon during draft. Like, before it even ended, they were just trading Pokemon with each other. That's insane to me, and it's definitely a first. And I've been playing since like 2016, which every time I have to admit that on a video, I just feel really bad. Like, some people my age are buying houses and look at me, what am I doing? So anyway, other than that, there was no draft board, no points, no tiers. So if you wanted something, as long as someone doesn't have it, you can pick it. Yeah, sure, why not? So of course there were some exceptions, like we're not allowing Groudon or Kyogre, like Quasar, thankfully, right? But there's some other questionable stuff there that it is allowed. One of them is in my team. We'll see them very soon. But I decided eventually to stop being the Grinch. I gotta stop being the Grinch. I gotta stop being boring. I decided to embrace the chaos. And all of that aside, I think we're gonna have fun. So how about we take a look at the draft? Alright, so our first pick for this whole thing is going to be Mega Caesar, because I was still trying to figure out how this whole thing went, how it worked and all that, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take Mega Caesar, because Mega Caesar is one of those mons that's kind of like B-Sharp. It's just like the anti-bullshit mon. It's just, I don't know how to put it into words. It's just like, it's always gonna do its thing. It's really hard to just prevent it from doing what it does best, which is the Swords Dance, Bullet Punch, you know it. We've all seen a Caesar, we've all used a Caesar at some point. And Mega Caesar is actually one of my first Megas that I ever used in draft. I think in my first like 3 draft leagues I ever played, 2 of them had Mega Caesar. That's how much I liked it. My very first Mega though was Mega Aerodactyl, and it wasn't bad, but it was Gen 7, so it didn't have Dragon Dance, unfortunately. So I like the speed a lot, but anyway, this does give me a lot of things other than the SD Bullet Punch. You know, like it's what it does best, and it's probably gonna bail me out of so many, you know, situations or whatever, because it's that good. It's just that good. So, but other than that, it has a lot of utility, has a lot of bulk. This guy is really bulky, and you know, it's got the curse, it's got a couple new moves now from, you know, generation that it's been buffed, like dual wind beat and close combat. Close combat is amazing for this thing. And of course it does have tailwind as well as feint, and it just has so many things, and I think it can actually work in doubles, even if it's not seen that commonly, or it wasn't seen as commonly back in the day. Second pick, this is really weird, I know. It's because there's no draft board, like I said, so you have to like come up with your picks in your brain, and you know, like, just think of a Pokemon. If nobody has it, then I guess it's yours. And I guess everyone forgot about Deoxys, and to be fair, I also forgot about Deoxys, but as soon as I remembered, I got my hands on Deoxys attack. And I think this Pokemon speaks for itself. You can see the stats over there. This is a monster. And yeah, like, it is frail. It's a glass cannon, obviously, but this is doubles. I can pair this up with Fake Out, Follow Me's, white guards, etc. And it's gonna do really, really well. Of course, I can just protect with it as well and do other things with my other mon so that I can protect it. And I don't know why this is allowed, if I'm being honest, but we are gonna use it because there's no rules. And yeah, the Deoxys is just gonna come in. Speed, power, coverage. It is like, I don't know what to say here. Like, it's Deoxys attack. It's yeah, not a whole lot to say here. I mean, it's just gonna do things, gonna kill things, and it's gonna do damage. Third pick. So when I got Scizor, what I had in mind was to maybe draft Pelipper or Politoed. I was mainly looking at Politoed because, of course, I wanted like a rain team going on. But since the very first pick, I saw two people building up a rain team. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna fight over the Swift Swimmers in this one. Like, two people doing a rain team, I'm like, okay, you know what? You guys can have it. I don't give a fuck. So we changed gears and we actually got Crobat right after Deoxys. This mon, I mean, it just does what Scizor does in terms of utility, really. And it just gives me that speed. And yeah, Deoxys is fast, but it's really good to have a utility mon with 130 base speed. This is like Jolteon speed, Tapu Koko speed. This is like faster than Weavile and stuff. This is really good. So yeah, of course, Tailwind speed is immune to Fake Out. I think that's super broken. It's really, really good. And of course, it's here to also guard the Deoxys very well. So I welcome Crobat into my team. Crobat is a mon I used in my first draft. No, not my first, because I had her maybe like my second. But I was always surprised how the fact that it's so fast means that you can make it really bulky. And it switches into a lot of things. I love the Roost Defog set with Super Fang, or like Toxic, and then you have Infiltrator to like Toxic behind Substitute. It's so good. I love this mon so much. Fourth pick. I can't believe this was on the board because this is a Follow Me plus Fake Out Pokemon. This is Blastoise, dude, and it has a lot of bulk. It gives me a Fire Resist, which I really needed one when you have Scizor, of course. And it has setup of, like, from this generation or the generation before. It has Shell Smash now. That can put in some work when it's doubles and people are targeting your other Pokemon. Maybe I can just get a Shell Smash with this one and start Ice Beaming, Scalding, and all that stuff. And yeah, it's Blastoise. I'm surprised this was not taken, considering it's Fake Out and Follow Me in one Pokemon. I think that's a little insane. So yeah. For our next pick, we got Sableye. I have no idea how this was left on the board, other than there's no board. So a Prankster Mon, one that has Quash as well as Fake Out. This thing has Will-O-Wisp, Thunder Wave, and Toxic. Like, dude, this one is stupid. I don't know how this was left on over there. Like, it has Disable, like, dude. And Dark Ghost. I mean, I know it doesn't have the best stats. It's kind of like a whatever mon. But the utility this thing gives me, this is gonna pair up with Deoxys attack like so well. You know, helping it out and making other things slower. Fake outs and stuff. This is a really good mon. And I didn't put it down here because I don't think I'll ever use it, but this does have access to setup moves, notably just Calm Mind. But look at those stats. I'm probably not gonna use that. But Sableye is just really good here, and I welcome Sableye into the team. Following up, we have Typhlosion. Now, I needed a Flash Fire mon for Scizor. You can use Scizor without Flash Fire mon. I mean, you can, but you know. And this gives me a lot of offense. I know I have a Deoxys, but that can be my only, like, offensive mon. I need some spread moves here, of course, with Heat Wave and Eruption, mainly Eruption. Good speed tier for what it wants to do. And it's just a lot of power. And it protects my Scizor. It's just very self-explanatory. It might not be the best doubles mon, but I think it works with Crobat and Scizor and a couple other members. Oh, and with Blastoise, of course. We have two starters now, and I think that's a very good synergy. Not synchrony. Well, I guess synchrony with what I have in mind, but you know. Next up, I needed a ground type because it's draft and you always need a ground type. It was this or Marowak, and let me tell you, Marowak is a piece of shit. So I am going to pick Donphan. Donphan is not amazing by any means, but it seems like it's kind of like a tanky mon in terms of like ditching out damage as well as taking out damage. And I mean, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. I think with proper utility here, like proper support, it can actually do something, but it doesn't really give me anything to work with in terms of utility. It has Helping Hand, I guess. I I figured maybe this could learn Wide Guard, but it does not learn Wide Guard, which is a little shame. And it's not a good mon, but I needed a ground type. I was not gonna use Marowak, I'm sorry. So yeah, that's gonna be your ground type. Welcome Donphan into the team. I don't like Donphan at all. It's kinda whatever, but I hope he puts in work, maybe. Next up, Medicham. I don't know how Medicham got into my hands. I think this is underrated. Of course, Pure Power makes it into a total demon, but you have to keep in mind that this is a fake out mon, as well as it has a lot of utility that people don't really think about. And it's just strong. It's strong. This is like having Deoxys, but like, I mean, it is weaker and slower, but like, it has that close combat, dude. Deoxys doesn't have that close combat, and I think they pair up very well. It's kind of like a side spam. It's like, you know, not really. Like, side spam usually in doubles, like, that usually means like psychic terrain. I just mean like regular side spam, like from back in the day. This is a physical psychic attacker that can take on a lot of mons that Deoxys doesn't want to deal with. You know, dark types, steel types, etc. So I really welcome this into the team. I think it has great utility going on here, and of course a lot of power. And it has telepathy, which I probably won't use very much, but if I wanna not be attacked by my own earthquakes or something like that, I could bring this with telepathy. Sure, why not? Coming up, we have Rotom Fan. I felt like I needed an electric type, and this was about the best thing left on the board. Guys, Pikachu got taken like way before this, like 4 rounds before this. And it kind of makes sense because Pikachu has Fake Out, has Follow Me, Extreme Speed, Anchor, like stuff like that. It got a couple moves now in the new game. I think it has Alluring Voice and stuff. This doesn't exactly matter, but my point is I understand Pikachu being taken, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like, things are very bad if I'm looking into drafting Pikachu. You know what I mean? But thankfully, there were some electric types left. This was one of the best ones. I think the other option was like Manectric, which it has Lightning Rod. It could be useful, but I like how Rotom Fan is just like all-rounder. It has bulk and it has some good speed as well as very good special attack. It might not be the best Rotom, of course. Water and fire are usually the best ones, but these are Rotom stats still. I think it's very good. It has status, of course, just like Sableye, Thunderwave, Toxic, and Will-O-Wisp in one mon. I think it's a little crazy. It has setup now with Nasty Plot, which I think is really good. And of course, it has that immunity to ground, which I only had it on Crobat, which I guess it was fine, but you also want to have another one. And I'm maybe one day I'll bring Air Balloon just for the fun of it and be 3 times weak to, or 3 times immune to ground. That would be pretty good. But other than that, I think this is a pretty good Pokemon for the team. And our last pick is going to be Leaky. I don't think this is gonna come in too many times, but I do like the idea that as long as this is on the field, you cannot be Swift Swim, you cannot be Chlorophyll, you cannot be any of that. It's just really good in some specific matchups. Pretty much everyone drafted a Weather team somehow. I don't know. I mean, I get it. It's doubles. It's easier to use, but like, no, like I don't want to deal with that. So people got a little too comfortable with that, and I'm gonna get my Cloud9 Pokemon here, and that should help me out. Makes Deoxys attack faster than all of those mons that need the weather to be faster. And other than that, it does have some pretty good bulk. It has setup potential as well as pretty good coverage. I don't know why this thing, it gets like like Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Power Whip. It's really weird. It's a weird, I don't know. It's such a weird mod. So it's also a Ghost Resist, which we definitely needed one. And this is our last pick. We were supposed to have 11 picks, as you can see. This is my 10th pick. What happens is that the owners in the middle of draft, they decided that we're doing 10 picks instead of 11. And yeah, this happened before we were done drafting. So I was left with just Licky Licky. I wanted to pick something else. It wasn't, I mean, I'm not gonna act like it was the best pick ever at the end. I was looking into bad Pokemon like Cacturn or whatever, but it would have helped because as of now, I do not have a Dark Resist. I would have liked like maybe regular Mawile was still available, you know, with Intimidate and all that stuff. As well as being, I mean, it's a Steel Fairy type. It might not be amazing, but that's a really good typing. And Cacturn is just like, well, it's a dark type. That's really about it. That's the only reason I wanted one. But yeah, in the middle of draft, they were like, you know what? You guys are not getting the last pick. So it was kind of funny. But you know what? We have to embrace the chaos. At this point, I can even, like, I'm playing this, whatever. You can make up all the rules you want. I don't care. We're going to play this. We're going to embrace the chaos. We are going to come in here. We're going to try to win every single week, as always. I always put up a fight. This is double, so I'm probably going to lose a lot. There's like no doubt in my mind that that's going to happen. But stick around and see me struggle or see me triumph in this new league. Definitely check out my other content. I upload BGC once in a new moon. And draft, I do a lot of draft. I'm currently on a different draft league as well. For this league, I'm just gonna upload whenever I want because it's like whatever. So, but for my other league, it's every Friday. So make sure you tune in for that if you want to. And I'll see you guys.